Yo! What is up, good people? Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well out there. I'm still getting set up here, but thought I'd just jump in, say hello to everybody, see who's here. Osford launch batting. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Paul. Yes, update success. I'm going to turn down this background music just a little bit. How are you today, sir? Tuning in from soggy Maryland. It is soggy Portland. Touché. Hello, Heidi, and your chicken fingers and root beer kind of morning. Bunch, salutations. Welcome in. Happy Friday. How are things? You meant your fingers are chicken fingers. You have saucy wings. I see. Paul. Oh my, email offer for RC20 for 19 bucks. Already have it. That is super cheap. Affordable, I should say. Yo, what's good, Saf? How are you doing, man? Osford, how are you this fine day? Ben, how are you? Excellent, excellent, excellent. We will check the public feedback queue in just a moment. Oh, Ben, are you trying to add commands to the chat for waterboarding information? Get the down low on waterboarding. I'm sure that just triggered something in the system. Hey, Becky's here. Becky, how are you? How are things? Everybody give a follow to our friend Becky. She's got an awesome channel, makes awesome music, teaches you awesome things. She plays awesome Boston house. There's lots of awesome things about Becky. Check her out. Liquid Phase, welcome in. We are the resistance. Welcome in, Omi. Zeep Xanthorpe, welcome in. Alu Trick, welcome in. Everybody's coming in today, huh? DJ Empirical is here. Cody Modi is here. Boston. Boston house. I guess one could say I parked my garage in the. No, I can't speak with a Boston accent. I can't even try. How the hell would one say successfully in a Bostonian accent, I park my garage in my Boston house? Let's see what I'm doing there. It's too early for that shit. Coffee. Alu Trick says, just gonna listen today. Need new perspectives on songwriting more than anything. And there is our gazelle, DJ Empirical, gifting to Becky. Thank you. Speaking of subs, if you are currently subbed to the channel, you get a free sound pack every single month. Hit the Discord to grab that free sound pack. All you have to do is link your Discord and your Twitch accounts. Wow, with this background music, it sounds like I'm one of those guys explaining the terms and conditions at the end of a very boring car commercial or cell phone commercial on the radio while you're stuck in traffic. When we say you will win beautiful cash and prizes, what we mean is you will get out of your car when you're done driving and go into your house. I never understand the like somewhat comedic stuff that they put into those terms. You guys know what I'm talking about? When was the last time you listened to radio? Yeah. I heard one the other day after dropping my kid off at school. I was driving home, and it was a betting app. It was an app for sports betting, and it was a 30-second ad, and I kid you not, half of it was about the app, like what it was called, where you could download it, and what was so cool about it. And the remainder of that 30 seconds was the really fast sped up talk, and it was hotline numbers by the state for all of the different gambling addiction hotlines in the local areas. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what am I hearing right now? First of the year. Good evening. Good morning. No, rinse does not count. All right, so no hands in the air for listening to radio, like real live radio, not online. Like in the car. When was the last time you listened to the radio in your house? It actually happens quite a bit here too, because of Blazer games. $7 p.m. in Germany right now. It is 10:20 a.m. in Portland. So we're just getting started. Unknown face, hello. And Jo, hello. Still getting set up. Let me just finish that. Oh, getting back to, if you're a sub, you get a free sound pack. I've just swapped out the free sound pack of the month. This month it is Found Sounds for Beat Makers. It's a really fun pack. It's for beat makers. It's for people that make beats with sounds. This is what some of the sounds sound like. Let me just kill this background noise here. We'll flip through a few of these. Some of the things you will not actually know with great specificity what they are, and others you will. The fun thing about this pack is that, you know, being a drummer and having done this for many, 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 many years, there's so many different sounds that you can throw into a pack. And since I kind of constrain these curated packs to just 50 sounds, only certain things can make it in, right? So there will be follow-up packs to this, obviously, but the type of sounds and textures were picked for various reasons, just to help keep things really, really interesting once you toss them into a sampler and start playing with pitch and playback speed and stuff. Really good shit. All right, so here's a sneak preview of what y'all get this month. Keep those teeth healthy. All right, that's it. From toy blocks to tooth care, you've got it. There's just a bunch of eclectic oddities in here. Again, if you're currently subbed to the stream, then you get a free sound pack every month. Whatever you are inspired to make with the sound pack, you come back and you submit it in the monthly challenge that we hold every single month. We just had our community listening party and voting last stream on Wednesday, and our man Javar won again. So big ups to Javar. We will hold that competition on the 2nd again, next month, again, a Wednesday. And that's that about that. If you've got your Discord and your Twitch accounts linked, then you will be able to access this channel right here called Subscriber Rewards. Just go in there and hit the download link. And you're all good. Cycle into the gig to save on cash. Nice, Becky. That's awesome. I hope it goes well for you. Winner, winner. Yeah, they're good sounds. They're good sounds, Lou, for sure. Yeah, they're fun ones, Ben, for sure. There's the winner, Mr. Jafar himself. All right, let's see how many people are already in the queue. Looks like we've got 5 new. Just gonna make sure, yep, do not disturb is on. Slack notifications are off. Anybody that wants feedback today, drop them in the Discord, preferably. Public feedback channel. Let me also save this so I do not forget. All right. Text document. Ben. First in line this week. DJ Pericle makes a really good point in the chat. And if you're like me, when you connect your Discord and Twitch, you'll discover sub channels in like half a dozen Discords. Yeah, you've been rewarded all along. How about that? Away we go. This one is from Nano. See what he's getting up to today. Take care, Steven.
So
All right. Dude, this is like memories and surprise and a little bit of oh wow. There's guitar in something that you submitted, Ben. That's awesome. More mid-range separation, like of the elements sitting in the middle, they're all very close to one another, timbre-wise, position-wise, volume-wise, treatment-wise, and more definition in the guitar. It's fine to have the wall of sound effect, but I think we need to be able to distinguish the two a bit more clearly. I'm really digging the big change-up moments. There's not really a lot to pick apart in any of that. It's more just a couple of mixed things. The sides are a little bit thick and blurry at times, especially when all the guitars and synths are hitting. I would sweep out the bottom frequencies out in the sides, do a little mid-side treatment on this to kind of thin it out there on the edges. And find more separation in the middle. And I think that some of those mid-range elements might need more low-end cleanup. So they become a little bit more nimble, right? So they're a bit more responsive in the mix. This track is resplendent with gravitas, says Paul. Javar is doing some incredible chair work over there. His chair is disintegrating from all the rocking. Oh man. Yeah, the combination of industrial glitch and metal rock. Cardio's here. What's up, Liv? And yeah, this track is sick. It is. And sound designing one. Well, it would be kind of cool if it was just during the break. If it was FM, if you did this in FM8, you could use the morphing matrix to do some really nice little things that kind of align with the synth piece in there. That would sound pretty wicked. So yeah, more separation in the mids, more definition in a guitar, and sweep out some lows on the sides and double check the low end on your mid-range elements. And then disco, as they say. Next up is Unknown Face, Stranded ID. I think this is the first one from you, right? All right, let's check this out. You have to have FM8, dude. You can't go through life without FM8. If you haven't been, you've been doing it wrong. Go get FM8.
Lima, remain via RPM, remain straight and level.
Okay. I like this. I like this vibe. There's like a little bit of tweaking with EQ that I think needs to be done, but I like this vibe. Really nice texture in the intro, nice sample selection, good cinematic vibe, all building up through that intro. Yeah, just a really good vibe, really solid. Nice full mix at 102 prior to that, and then one again, or again at 113. I think there needs to be just a little tweak to this filter that you've got, because right now it doesn't sound just it doesn't sound just filtered. It sounds kind of obscured. Like there is like a level of loss of definition. So it'd be good to maybe relinquish some of the hold on some of the highs by backing off your octave per dB curve. Here, I'll show you just really quick. Make sure I've got this saved again. And all right, so you've got an EQ, right? And perhaps this filter that you're running looks, you know, something like this up top. Well, if you just change the curve, you can keep the same cutoff point, and then maybe just kind of fine tune the position until you get the crispness back that you want. The other thing that you can do is, if you're really kind of married to the idea of the position that it's in currently, is you could take a secondary peak and kind of with a narrow bandwidth bring up a little pocket of air inside there. Move it around until you find the spot where it's kind of, you know, relinquishing its hold just a little bit. And then the other thing is, I think that that could use some saturation, that filtering. And then I think also just a little bit of movement in there as well. Where's my notes? So yeah, just kind of tweaking the position of the EQ curves in your filter, and then maybe moving it a little bit. And then again at 135, this is really good when you first start off, and then it kind of continues on. It's really one of the only things that isn't evolving in some way, shape, or form for a period of time. So I would just put some shared modulators on like 2 or 3 elements in the mix and get them moving, right? You can use the same LFO on, say, 3 different layers, and you know, each one is going to be affecting a parameter on each thing. Have 2 of them go up, have 1 of them go down, vary the depths of the 2 that go up, give it a little bit of it doesn't have to be an intense or really busy LFO. It just needs to be something. Like, it could be a slow moving one. It's just something. So the sound is kind of exploring as it goes. So as those things commingle, it almost doesn't even matter how long that segment ends up being, because there will be variation, albeit slight, but it'll be there. So the interest will increase. And that's all I got for you. This is a good one. This is a good one. And welcome in. And who am I? Welcome in. Let's see what people are saying here. Jabbar keeps forgetting that he has FM8 now. Yeah, you got to remember that. It's a freaking beast. Poor Ben. His whole life has been a lie. He's been doing it all wrong. No FM8. Yeah, Liquid Phase, the tension is real. That intro is awesome. Oh, Zeep, that's a bit rude. My dad would not like this. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely old school industrial vibe too. Oh man. Liv, you didn't even have a choice like early 90s. If you went to a club, you smoked a clove cigarette, damn it. Oh, Nat Sherman's. Different. Oh, true, 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 Javar. It's just like, oh, this is pretty all right, and then you just start bleeding on the inside. Who am I? Of course, just drop your link in the Discord, the public feedback channel. Very nasty. Very nasty indeed. Oh, Kwame, what's up, brother? Darth Vader's here. Oh man, jeez, man, everybody sit up straight. Uh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You could totally burn him as incense. It's probably a better. It's probably a better option. Oh, except Liv wouldn't stay in. She would not stay at the party if there was if there was clove incense. All right. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is liquid phase. I think if I remember correctly, we did look up the origins of this. And it had goth connections, but the whole club scene, like goth was very much still alive and well. And I mean, you're talking about the age of like The Cure and Soft Cell and these cats, you know. Yeah, they definitely fit the character. Sup, Viz? What's up, dude? Welcome in, man. How are you? Oh, Liv, kick it to the curb. Kick it to the curb. Just ditch it. Shabal, you can post more than one. I would recommend spacing it out, though. Like, drop one, wait a few, drop one. Kwame, how are things? Hey, is your mentor on the mend? Do you get piano lessons back yet? What's up? Them clothes are heavy, but also smooth. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Oh, now there you go. Okay, so Jafar makes a good point, right? Like once you reach a certain age, right, you stop caring about a lot of the things that you would worry about obsessively at a young age to stay healthy or whatever, right? So is that when you start smoking a pipe, right? You grow out the wizard beard. You just build yourself into this new awesome like rocking chair character. Tell epic tales. Actually, Jafar, that'd be great for the like audio dramas. All right, let's get this next track. Can I critique your new single page? Yes, of course, Kwame. 100%, dude. Piano lessons are back, working on the pentatonic scale. Oh man, you're already better, so much better than me. Zach is saying, hey Chris, just been listening to a Gong Bath demo, got me thinking if there is a way to create something similar digitally. Yes, there is, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I've put together like sonic bath, audio bath, music bath stuff for people. It's been called different things over the years. Paul, smoke on my pipe and watch OhmLab reruns. Yeah, I mean, really, it's just like you just want really good space for your objects to move around in and dwell in. And as long as the frequencies are not being obfuscated, right? Yeah, we should look into playing around with some of that. That would be a fun little community project. We are talking about sampling. Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's just timely too. Trailer says, I'm holding out to start tattooing in my 60s. That way they'll look fresh and not saggy. And 60s are probably going to be like the new 30s by then. So there you go. Back in my day, we used oscillators. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Next up is Z. Says, I don't know if you're cool with it being a remix, but if you're down, give it a listen. And thanks. If not, no worries. Cool. I'm down. Oh. Skip you once? Yeah, totally. You're not quite ready. All right, so J.O.'s up next. Let's do this. You're welcome, you're welcome. Roku! What's up, dude?
I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is. I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is. Bad bitch show me she wanted me badly. I'm straight over New York, but I flew out to Cali. Niggas press my mates, they call him trapping out the alley. Caught him behind me, he up in the tally. I see him red like I'm from Cincinnati. Had a talk in my windows, my car not no rental, really presidential. Baby girl, I miss you. Nigga, what's the issue? With no like need tissue. Yeah, I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is. I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is. I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is. I see a dumb nigga, he a loser, baby. Ain't rich on whipping the super, baby. Pop me up, I can go super crazy. Over that work, I be super lazy. I just wanna be shining. Black car, little climbing. Really show me what the time is.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It's a good vibe. There's when your vocals first come in, I think that the stuff that was right in the center, everything but the bass really can be moved out a bit. I mean, don't move the kick either. But just to make a little bit more space for that vocal to really lock in. And then that's going to provide, I think, a little bit more low-end support for the vocals too, which I think they could use, because it wouldn't be running into as many elements right there in the middle. I would also probably saturate the bass around 85 hertz-ish or so, just to give it just a little bit more thickness down there. If you move a couple of things out to the sides in the middle, it should kind of fill up that space nicely. Really, really nice clarity on the vocals throughout this one. It's good stuff. Or Hobbit Leaf. Hey, what is Hobbit Leaf? Liv is saying, I am pro wizard pipes. Yes, just get a wizard pipe and smoke weed out of it. Problem solved. Honestly, wizards would probably smoke weed anyway, or Hobbit Leaf. So now I'm wondering, what kind of effect does Hobbit Leaf have upon you? Oh, Roku is bringing up proximity to your mic. Well, there you have it. For a $19 mic, dude, this sounds hot. This is good. And honestly, like, how long have you been doing this? Hey, Nate's here. Welcome in, Nate. How are you, brother? Started at the end of last year. Wait, as in like just like a month or so ago? Yeah, this is great. I mean, a $19 mic and you've got that kind of clarity. Yeah, okay. So you've been doing this for like a couple of months. All right, yeah. So this is really good for that. Well, whatever it is, whether it's November or December, doesn't even really matter. It's good stuff. Yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And I would really recommend maybe finding someone to collaborate with, just to kind of help you kind of come up and wrap your mind around the different types of things that you can do to bring in a little bit of money to buy a better mic and that kind of thing. Yeah, you've got a good voice, and the arrangement, the sound palette that you're working with, all of it is good. So you've got a good ear. Yeah, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. This is pretty solid. Nice, Nate. Sounds like you're keeping busy. Nice. Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying, Roku. Pretty decent for a few months in. That's what I'm saying. Been trying to make connections. Well, keep hanging out and keep bringing stuff by. There's a lot of really great people around here. Help you grow. There's a little channel in the Discord for collaborations. You can toss in a link. People can get in touch. Corey, you ready? Yeah, balancing school and stuff. Totally get it. Yep. I have to balance quite a bit myself. I totally get it. As Kwame says, this community is a blessing. Yeah. All right, let's do this. All right, this one is Deep Samthorpe. See what our man is up to this time. OhmLab satellite.
My love is like footsteps in the snow, baby. I follow you everywhere you go, baby. The painless night has come to wake you, but you will never realize that I inspire the dreams that guide you, baby. I'll follow the winds that bring the cold, baby. I'll light a fire in your soul, lucky star, you're singing satellite. But in my mind I whisper every single word you say. And before you sleep at night, you pray to me, your lucky star, you're singing satellite.
All right. Corey, I was going to needle drop this a couple of different times, and I just didn't. There were plenty of things that were like really engaging. As everyone's talking about, the vocals are great. Maybe a touch of long form saturation modulation on the bass in the first section of that song. I felt that it was really the only thing that didn't have like the feels 100% of the time. All of the other things seemed to be kind of burrowing into you, if you will. Man, 152, 220 when the bass hits is really nice. It felt really good. Really good choice. Really good sound design. I feel like I want a little bit more brightness and like upward expansiveness from the snare. Around 249. 320, I like all of your sonic embellishments. Like they've all got kind of a sigh tingle to them. Though they're really not distracting, they're supportive, they're fleeting, they're always getting out of the way, which is good. So big ups there. 358, I felt this at a couple of different points, and this is kind of hard to combat with the style because you don't want to touch the aesthetic too much, but there did seem to be a slight like kind of blanket effect there. So I'm not sure what the dB per octave curve is on the high-end roll-off that you've got there. But maybe you could open it up just a little bit there and then bring it back down when the vocal comes in so the vocal still sits right up top. And then lastly, just as like an aside here, more than anything, because this is very much like an artistic kind of choice, you might want to play around with the idea of automating some EQ changes in the lows and low mids in some of these sounds as they're moving around, because I feel like the dramatic feelings that you're conjuring can be emphasized and kind of highlighted in very specific ways. And I think that if it was done tastefully, that it would really work with the modulation that you've got running in there. Kind of highlight some of that hard work that you're doing. This is really, really good. It's really good. It's very, very well balanced. Show you what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. We're talking the EQ automation. So basically what I would probably do is, and remember, the best way to accent something is to take something else away, and then, you know, through modulation, motion over time, introduce a revelation moment, reveal what you're wanting to highlight, and then move back to the other position again. And then it kind of reinforces the idea of that kind of fleeting nature of things. So maybe what you're doing is you're starting out with, you know, something like this, and then you've got like this little woof of a little accent, and then maybe it comes down here. While you've got like one of these really twisty kind of foldy bass kind of modulation moments. The other thing is that if you've got some low end rolled off on something, maybe we say it looks something like this, and you know that there's going to be this moment where you really want the kind of sub frequencies in this area to really shine. So you go back and you kind of take a little, like just kind of kiss it is what I say, like just kind of take a little bit off right here, right? And then when that moment comes up, literally just go in there and record this automation of this thing coming up and giving this little flutter, just like this, whoa, whoa, right? So it's like this kind of burst of low end energy. And you can do the same kind of a thing. What you don't want to do is have that kind of stuff static, right? Because there's just too many ways to muddy up your mix and make things ugly. You don't want to upset stuff. But in these moments where there aren't a lot of things competing for space and time in your arrangement, and you're pulling off a really nice maneuver with your sound design, you can actively modulate those things or highlight those things just with EQ changes. Oh, the saturation modulation. Yeah, that's also pretty simple. So let's just say you've got a bass running And let's just say that it's running across these 4 bars here. All right, so we've got this instrument and it's doing this thing in our mix. Okay, and we get into automation, and on this lane, we've got some saturation. We'll just use overdrive right now as an example. So if this thing, we're going to pretend that this 4 bars here is maybe like 32 bars in time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find our saturation, and we're going to find our drive. And we'll find the point at which we want to like reach our peak in our swell, right? And then we can also go back in here and tone. And hopefully you're working with a DAW that you can kind of see the other automation curves that you're dialing in. But what you ultimately want to do is try to kind of reinforce small and subtle maneuvers in a way that in which they end up becoming greater than the sum of their parts, right? Like they it multiplies the effect, right? So in other words, if you are increasing your frequency target, right, moving it from say 980 up to 7K, you're going to be generating overtones up here, harmonics, right? And if you're increasing the drive in that moment as well, it's just going to be agitating those frequencies that much more. And these don't have to be big maneuvers, just simply running something through a saturation device without even adding drive oftentimes is going to have some kind of audible effect. So you want to, compensate for level. And it does not have to be as drastic as going from like way down here all the way up here. It could be going from here to here. But just finding something, a point in your mix that you'd like to accent. Or if you're just looking to have some variety, maybe you actually put in a few different peaks. It all really kind of depends upon the mood of like what you're hearing in that moment. The key is just not to do anything quickly or drastically. That's the key. Don't do anything that people are going to be like, wait, why did it just sound like something happened there? More of just like, did something just happen there? Or, ooh, I love how smooth that was, or something, right? Like make them think about what they were just hearing. First of the year saying Kick doesn't really get through on a system. People are liking de-esser, Ben. Yeah, it's all about the vocals on this one, apparently, in the chat. Philip Glass's Baldwin. Is it a real thing? Is it really from Philip Glass? Vowel morphine. Roku. I see you. Yeah, let liquid phase help. Yeah, Jafar says, I've started doing lots of automation on my EQ bands. I always used to think EQs were just set and forget. Think. Paul says, my bursts of low-end energy generally elicit screams from my audience. Hey, what's up, Will? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Do you invert the output or use like comp limiter to tame the dynamic changes? No, nothing drastic, nothing too big. When you add up a bunch of tiny little things, it becomes something really big in the end. That's how I generally like to think about like long form modulation. Short form modulation, it can be as wacky as you like, but the long form stuff I feel should be there to kind of help you reinforce and highlight other efforts in the mix, right? Or other details that could be revealed, that type of thing. And if it's long running, then it's not distracting in the moment immediately from the main focus of the track. So that's kind of why I like it. Tame it with automated EQs. You don't want to create unintentional harmonics. True. Good advice from Roku about distortion over compression. You are welcome, Zeep. You are welcome. Hope it helps. Busy, but only a few hours left, says Will, heading into the weekend. I side with Roku on this one about the compression of overtones. Yeah. Oh, nice, Nate. Big love, homie. Good luck out there. Keep fighting the good fight. Hope you're feeling well. Today's random thing yelled in the middle of chat. Washing machines live longer with Calgon. Boom. Oh man, you know, it's only funny to me because I don't live in an area where I have to use Calgon to soften the water, and that's like that all just seems kind of like a humorous kind of statement, but I know that's like real life too. So I'm sorry if your machine just died and I'm sitting over here laughing. It's raining. I'll walk to the fridge for a beer later. That's funny. All right, let's hit the next track. Alex, welcome in. Booze get cloved. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what's next. We already listened to J.O. Jafar is up next. Let's get it. Jafar says, result of last night's stream after a cleanup mixdown pass. Dark ambient pad for a slow cerebral space suspense thriller, made to have stems rendered out for mix match levels of intensity, and any section can be chopped out with a fade in out and used as recurring theme with variety. Boom, my man. Excellent. You are on your way to figuring out how to build construction kits for ADD right there. That's the sauce. Start by creating a drum loop, resampled down several octaves, added massive reverb, etc. Went from there, adding things and processing. Sweet. All right, this one is called Dark Space. And away we go. I'm going to talk over the top of this thing intentionally here at the end to put a spotlight on something. Your focus on maintaining a supportive theme, like as engrossing and involved and immersive as your things are becoming, you're still allowing for your work to be a bed for something bigger. And it's awesome. I commend you. This is solid here. It's good. Like when you see something like this without a whole lot of valleys, and then you hear just how supportive it is, it's nice. All right, man, that scrape, that very first scrape, it just told you exactly what you were about to hear. And all these layers. That choir, I was thinking there were a couple that were kind of cut short, and then the more I listened to it, the more I was thinking that might have just been intentional. 142, man, like now that you've disclosed your plans for the audio drama stuff, it's just begging for voiceover work right there. So supportive. Nice use of space all the way around. Each time I thought about mentioning like something about EQ in a certain space or another, I started to feel like there was great intention already in the decision as it was like moving into its next phase. So just really good. Like I can feel the intention. It's good work, dude. It's really good work. And I like that jump in there. It made me realize how smooth everything has been up to that point. Like it had become so engrossing. Yeah, the delivery of things was kind of getting lost, which is pretty cool. And I love the drone nature of the drums and that vocal sustain. 316. I really like these really long attack entries that these different samples were coming in with. Like at first, one of them actually started to feel a little bit like a riser as it was coming in, and then another thing backed off. Just really good commingling. Just really, really like it. I kind of almost want more of it. Not in any one spot, just like more of this. Really holds the tension. Good stuff, dude. The choir was a pain to tame. Yes, mix and match bits and pieces to cover multiple recurring cues. Yeah. Filtered ice. A 4-disc set of just that track. In different flavors, right? Suspense for miles, right? All right, next. First of the year. Let's do this. All right, here we go.
Wake cause I'm tired from the high. Wake up in the morning, money's on my mind. Yeah, I keep on yawning, cause I'm tired from the high. Wake up in the morning, money's on my mind. Yeah, I keep on yawning, cause I'm tired from the high.
Dude, it is so good. It is so good. Just print this thing. Just send it out. I don't really have gripes. I have a couple of wants. Like, I want a stronger delay level at the peak. You know, as it's like building up at 147, and like as it reaches its peak, it'd be cool if it just kind of like stayed there for a little bit, like equal, or maybe just like 1 dB higher than the original vocal or something, just to kind of push it all over the top. I don't know. I think you freaking nailed it with this one. Maybe just a touch of saturation on that bass. Just really good tone, really good filtering. Vocals are excellent, really tight. Didn't get too fancy, really classic. I'm a fan. Yeah, a few deep house big delays would be ace. All right, Modi One Kenobi. Absolutely one of the best handles in here. It says, accidentally had a filter bus constantly on, running through my master, mixed into it, realized I had it on and turned it off. Well, that's awesome. Soft dance to getting closer, fix some stuff. All right, here we go. It's Cody Modi. Always bringing the heat. This is solid. All your stuff is so solid. That ARP started so subliminally at I mean, I started noticing it creeping, I think probably a full second or so after it started, I bet. 127, space for a riser there. Maybe cut everything for that little change up, that little momentary 1 beat change up. 208, space for transition effect, maybe a subtle one. Doesn't have to be like a big riser or anything, because I think it would kind of wreck that moment. It's pretty tasteful. But I think it would be good to toss in a couple of like random filter sweeps and reversals just as ear candy. Like pick a couple spots. You've obviously got like the understated kind of vibe going on with a lot of your transitions anyway. And I really like it. It might be fun to just kind of A/B a couple of different sounds that people associate with transitions in places where there are no transitions. It might be a cool thing to toss back at a vibe like this. Other than that, like I'm not actually hearing a whole bunch of stuff that needs correction or help, honestly. I really like the way in which things were commingling. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, man. I like your stuff. Boone, welcome in. Happy Friday. Yeah, that was tasty, Cody. All right, Levi. This one is called Atoms. Let's do this. Or just stamps, maybe.
Mon cœur palpite, ça va trop vite. J'enchaîne les mélodies sur la rue moitié ivre. Je repense à ma Yves. J'hallucine, je retire une tare. Te dis encore une parole, juste pour que tu comprennes. Si jamais je m'en veux, tu pourras contenir ta paix. Plus de retour en arrière. Je suis parti sans laisser d'affaires. Rester discret dans tout ce que je fais. C'est comme ça que j'opère. Quand j'entendais le son de ta voix, j'oubliais tous mes soucis. Je me sentais proche de toi, comme pas permis. Quand j'entendais le son de ta voix, je me sentais ivre de folie. Je me sentais proche de toi. J'avais qu'une envie de t'aller loin d'ici. Oh baby, je sais que tu me voulais. Oh baby, quand je me bougeais, les fans sonnaient. Tu sais que je n'ai plus le temps. Oh baby, je me taille loin, loin, loin tout le temps. J'avais besoin d'entendre ta voix. Baby, j'avais besoin d'entendre ta voix. Quand j'entendais le son de ta voix, j'oubliais tous mes soucis. Je me sentais proche de toi, comme pas permis. Quand j'entendais le son de ta voix, je me sentais ivre de folie. Je me sentais proche de toi. J'avais qu'une envie de t'aller loin d'ici.
This was great. This was great. I don't have a lot to nitpick in this. Like, there are very subtle things that I don't think most people would really ever pay attention to. Like, the piano and the guitar have reverbs that don't quite match. Like, pretty nitpicky stuff. I saw Roku kind of grab onto this too. The highs and the reverb. There's a couple of things you could do to help that. It's a subtle thing, again, kind of nitpicky, but you could put a little filter mod on there. You could EQ the verb channel just a little bit. You might also want to consider putting a compressor on your reverb channel. No gain is being added back here in any way. It would just be there so you could allow the vocals to trigger that compressor, so it would duck just ever so slightly at the delivery of the words, the syllables. So there's just a touch more separation. I mean, honestly, this is really well thought out. It's refined. The arrangement is ace. Production is solid. It's really, really nice work. Heidi is saying Fridays at OhmLab are better than any radio station. Just have to say, thank you. Oh man, well, don't thank me. Thank the people that are bringing the freaking heat. This is awesome. Levi, this is good. I hope you continue to bring more stuff our way. Next up, Shabal B. All right, La Crisis or LA Crisis and Shabal. Spring came too soon. I like this. I like this. Oh, it's over on Audius. Okay, this is really good. All right, so this thing obviously moves us. Let's skip past all of the hell yeah stuff and the grooviness of it all and talk mix. Guitar licks are great. I think EQ had a bit more low end on them, so there's a little bit more nimble energy to them. They feel a little bit rooted right now. And it also is adding to some of the low end kind of muddiness to this. The keys seem a bit wide and the bass seems a little wide as well. If we were to narrow those a bit more, keep the bass more centered. Keys can come in and then be moved more to one side, a little bit further away from the bass, making a little bit more room, and you'll have a more spacious mix. I think that just those three things would have a discernible impact, and it would probably help kind of guide you toward where you need to go with the rest of it. Whenever something has a lot of really infectious organic energy, I hate giving so much of advice that people feel like they need to go and make a bunch of changes, because it's just going to probably wreck stuff, right? Because it's about the energy of it all. You know, work with care and caution with your EQs as you're cleaning those things up. And don't forget that shelves are oftentimes a better choice than cuts. If you like the large majority of your sound the way that it is, but you just want to take a little more control over the low end. And that way you don't throttle the gravity, the life force entirely. Oh, hey, Roku shared this really great thing and then a link here. He says, my studio teacher would not be sitting in his chair when he would hear this, but dance clapping through the control room. I used to intern for him, and this style was his jam. I learned my chops on this style. This is great. That is like such great energy. Okay, so move the keys where? Probably just a little bit to one side. You got to kind of pick and choose the spots, right? So the way that I do this is close your eyes and imagine what this band looks like when they are on stage, and then start positioning them in such a way, right? You're going to keep the bassist and the drummer kind of in the center, and then everybody else is going to be moved off to the side to varying degrees. Yeah, I definitely don't want too much touched that could affect the energy. This is great. This is great stuff. Yeah, if you don't have stems for everything, then yeah. And same with all this mixing stuff, honestly. You would want control over each individual stem for it. But this is freaking a great vibe. This is a great vibe. I hope you guys are able to get together and jam in real life as well. Kwame, my man. Let's do this. See what you're up to this week. There you are. All right, let's listen. Juicy Butt Muffin, welcome in. Great name. Happy Friday to you. Currently listening to the cool sounds of Kwame Brown. Discord, homie. Public feedback. Kwame, we're going to hit your page right after this. Also, go download those found sounds for beat makers right now. Oh, wait, back here, please. Dude, this is great. This is great. Feels. Bell doesn't seem as processed, that bell synth. So it definitely sits atop quite nicely. It is the only thing that isn't running through all those processes to the same degree it feels. Maybe a slightly tighter wet dry balance on the drums. What are you using for your degradation? RC20, VHS. What are you using? I think that this one might be a cool one to bounce and chop up, right? Like if you were to take a small segment, maybe like a little 4-bar or something, and toss it into a sampler, chop it, and resequence it a little bit. And then cut that in at a few different points. I think it might be kind of cool. A little twist. It would have the same exact vibe, but it would absolutely engage the listener just a bit more. Sketch cassette, nice. I really like the name Sketch Cassette. It just sounds nice when I say it. Sketch Cassette. Roku says it's 85% of the way there. That feels about right to me. Oh, Cody Modi, we liked it. That's the long and the short of it. This was the end of the feedback for Kwame here. I'm just gonna undo Shabal. Livy. There we go. Yeah, dude, everything was great. Space for a transition effect here or there. But I also appreciate the understated nature of your transitions and would kindly recommend an A/B of putting some somewhat random filter sweeps or random reversals in just as ear candy in places where transitions are not happening. Just for interest's sake. It was awesome. It was awesome. Go check out the VOD. We said nice things about it. Yeah, so take 4 8-bar loop, chop it up, reinsert, just as an experiment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it wouldn't have to be like a full 8-bar thing that you're adding back either, right? Yeah, let's just listen to where I was actually starting to have this thought as I was listening to your playback here. This was the first spot, I think, that I was starting to feel it. And then that feeling was really reinforced here. I think it would add just a subtle dash of, like if they were short ones, almost kind of like a glitchiness. But if they were a bit more classic, then just adding a bit of the sampling game to it. Yeah, I'm hearing subtle, like just subtle resequencing, but they're obvious flips, right? It's not completely seamless, which is like part of the lovely part of that idea. You don't know how to sample. Well, after your piano lessons, we'll talk sampling lessons. Seriously though, on Mondays, make your brains bigger. We are talking, oh man, I need to post the stuff to the classroom channel too, don't I? Where is that? That is intro to sampling, synthesis, sampling, presets, samples, drums. We're going to be talking drums. All right, yeah, and then we do have to wait a bit for a bit more for more sampling stuff. We get into it like 13, 12, like 12 weeks in. We'll talk a little bit about it tomorrow or next week on Monday when we talk drums. We'll talk more sampling though. All right, Sid 1097 is up next here. Says, hey, how you guys doing? I need feedback on this remix. Siddhartha Biswas? Siddhartha Biswas? I'm not sure. Let's check it.
The curtains are closed now, nothing to see, but it doesn't die in roses at our feet. Your timing is perfect, ironic to me.
Sounds like Iva.
Showing up the moment that you shouldn't be. Last time I checked, you're the one that left. Last words you said, that you couldn't get less. It's funny how you miss me more than you could ever love me. How you couldn't give me everything and now you want it from me. Yeah, it's funny how it's different now that I got somebody. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh yeah, good call, Roku. Is this part of a open competition right now? Hey Sid, are you around right now? We'll see if Sid pops back up. We'll come back to this one. Ooh, we are treated with another from Shibal. Let's do this. Again, Sid, if you're around, holler back at us. We just don't want a copyright strike. We're happy to give more feedback outside the stream or something. Liam Adams Music, welcome in. Zomolatha, welcome in.
Take a minute. Remember a time from the beginning. Back when you were mine. Now that it's over, you stay on my mind. I miss you, miss you. Your function don't know how to be without you. Without the distance in between makes it even hard to breathe without.
Dude, bring it the heat. This is 2 from you today. Man.
I can't go on without you on my side. It's been so long since you've been on my side.
Dude.
On my side.
Dude. Come on. Cheers, homie. It's fucking brilliant stuff right there. Let's not dismiss what Heidi was saying earlier. Tuning into OhmLab on Fridays has definitely become better than listening to any radio station. Come on, Shabal. Seriously. Thank you. What the fuck? Man, you've brought a couple of just really, really lovely tunes in today, man. I mean, you bring good stuff. That's what you do. But man, today, seriously. Yeah, and the singer. I mean, seriously, who is the singer? Who is the singer? And how in the world did you get your hands on a time machine to get her out of the 70s? I want to know. Your friend Czar. Well, your friend Czar is amazing. You're amazing. Keep doing it. Keep giving us insight into what you're doing. I got nothing for you on this one. That's my feedback for you. I've got nothing. It's just lovely. It's just lovely. At some point, people make so many really great choices and decisions that I'm like, I'm out. I'm peace out. Like I'm not going to put my foot into this mix. Oh, dude, she's just a young girl who's just started music, but she's been singing all her life, and that just means that she's probably been chasing this for more than one life. Really, I've known people that have that level of like soul, and like wisdom in their voice. Like that voice has some stories. It's got some history. And it's in this young girl. It's amazing. All right, Haas is up. I have a feeling we're in for another tasty treat here. This one's from Haas. Above the Clouds. Currently a WIP. Oh, shoot. I can't believe I just did this. Kwame, where's your... Oh, hold on a second. Is this the... Kwame, I dropped the ball. Hang tight, Haas. We got to take a look at this. Dude, this looks great. This looks good. Yeah, man, I like this landing page. It's simple. There it is. Yeah, it's simple. The only thing that I might say is that your logo is a little small. Not sure if you have much control over that in the platform that you're using. But I like the simplicity of this, and I like the aesthetic. Yeah. This can be tough for some people. Right now, like, this isn't necessarily bothering me. I can read this. It's not the most comfortable, but this right here is going to be a problem for a fair chunk of the population. Just reading a light text color on a bright white background is hard for some people. That's why you're starting to see more and more like accessibility tools on websites and stuff. So you might want to change this one. I totally get why you're doing it. It's branded to your color. Just something to consider. Also, what does it look like in dark mode? This is good. You might want to put a capture on here just so you don't get a whole bunch of spam. But other than that, I mean, this is good. I like that you didn't get distracted. Like there's nothing else for me to click on except for what's really important here. And I like that. I can't wait to see more on this page. Javar is saying there just isn't enough contrast in the color values for colorblind people. Exactly. Yep. No, it looks good, man. It looks good. Let's swap out that text color, and I think the whole thing feels pretty darn good. All right, we are listening to Haas. Sorry for the pause there, Haas. Here we go. From the top here. Above the Clouds. Oh, Alex, this is you. Okay. Good to correlate these. Really nice, nice transition there at that minute mark. There's a few things I just kind of want to talk through like in real time here. This right here, this transition effect, I think if it had a bit either change it up a little bit so it becomes a bit more brighter and more expansive, or just put a second layer under there. I'm constantly saying like, hey, stick another transition layer underneath that thing and brighten it up or expand. Like it's a really classic trick, because you can put a bunch of reverb or delay or something like that on a really simple subtle layer like that and keep it a really low volume, so it adds kind of a hint of something without having to really affect the entirety of an effect like that. So I would kind of tune into that, and then moving forward. This right here, I think it has this kind of a feeling, and without some sort of additional cue here, I think it starts to become just a little bit repetitious, and you don't have to change anything except for maybe put in a small reversal here. Right? It kind of resets this clock for the listener in a way. You don't change anything in your arrangement, but because of this one small embellishment, you've given the listener some kind of a nod, basically. And they're like, all right, cool, I'm with you. And just right here, I feel like this is really good release, and the change up, like you dip back down to a valley floor. I feel like if you did have some kind of a riser leading up to this moment, it's going to provide the feeling of release, which is really what that moment is saying to me. And again, it can be something really subtle. Okay, the last thing in here is just, there's something about this kick. There's something about this kick. And I think it's just that I want just a little bit more of a transient to it. No click, no extra layer, no fancy EQing, just the just the presence of the transient itself. I think I'd like it just a little bit sharper. It does, like, there are a couple of spots where it's both bouncy and flat. It just kind of tells me that it's the transient that needs just a little bit of tightening. I really like the bounce in it. Liam is saying, I like the stream a lot. Thank you, dude. Roku's saying the strings sound a bit mechanical. The decay on those are a bit scrapingly short. Yeah, and I find it to be the case in this type of music a lot. And I kind of go back and forth with it. I mean, if that was an artistic decision, then roll with it. And if it was not an artistic decision, then attend to it. I guess that's kind of how I feel about it in this style of music. Because we're obviously not going for authentic as much as we are vibe and feel and in the moment. But I tend to agree with Roku on these things. Probably close to 100% of the time. I think we might be. I think we might have our tentacles reaching out and touching each other or something. Liam Adams Music says, OhmLab, what genre you mostly produce? There's only really a couple of things that I don't produce. It's probably easier to go through that list. I full stacks, full spectrum. Emphasis on like really cinematic stuff for many years, but have literally owned sound labels that produce all the different types of sounds and instruments. Saf says that, that reminds me I should score more short clips because I feel my layering skills with doing scores are kind of lacking, and I feel I should do more than just one demo reel, more like 5 or 10-second clips. Yeah, I think, Saf, honestly, I think speed challenges would be really good for you. I gave this very same advice to Nate. Well, I guess it was several years ago now. And it helped him. It helped him kind of focus and figure out how to move beyond the conceptual and start outputting in a way that he kind of dreamed of. And that is just challenge yourself to output something each day, or multiple projects each day if they're going to be really short. If something's going to be like 5 or 10 seconds, I would challenge you to make a bunch of those, like in a day even. And you don't have to be using a mindset that says everything is perfect at the end of this, like little challenge run. That's why the clock becomes really important, right? Because it's both your enemy and your friend. You get to the end of that clock and you get to move on. So it's your friend. It's also your enemy because you wanted to do more with what you were creating in those 5 minutes or whatever. And therein lies the rub, so to speak. Like that's where you find your improvement, is in that process. Liquid Face says the kick feels a bit sharp in tone to me. Roku says if there's supposed to be fake strings, it should be overly apparent. Or it should be organic. In between never works. And Shabal says, if we were ants, we'd all be females. Males only live a short life and are only used for breeding. Alex says, yeah, I just used the strings that came with FL. I've only been producing for a year. Appreciate the tips, though. Is the melody and chords okay? And to that I say yes. Roku says, pick up the Spitfire BBC free strings. Shabal says, I've been recently writing stuff and writing other stuff over that and removing the old idea and writing something on top of the new idea. Rinse and repeat. Exactly. Boom. Yes. This right here. And this is this kind of touches on what Javar was saying earlier. And I was kind of saying, you're unlocking the secret sauce to building these construction kits that we're building inside of Audio Design Desk right now. The concept being that you build a theme. You start to build things around that theme. That original theme can be one element. Like it can kickstart the entire thing. Maybe it's just like a 4-step progression, right? It's just chords or something, right? And then you add something to that. You add something to that. Now take away that first thing and start building around those other 2 things. Add a couple more things. Now take away 2 things and add 2 or 3 more things. Right? And so you're constantly continuing to build and build and build. You're creating continuity. You're exploring ideas. Those initial things are no longer influencing you, but they're obviously there. They're like the vein, the core of this whole thing. Now, 15, 20, 30 steps removed, shut that project down, open up a new project, and now start bringing those things in different ways and mixing and matching them. And your mind starts to explode with the potential of it all. It can really light a fire under your creativity for sure. Oh, Alex, no, you get an error message when you try using the Spitfire stuff. Well, definitely grab all of the stuff that you can. So when you get that problem sorted, you have a bunch of really good sounds to play with. Yeah. Oh, Heidi, you're so funny. Oh, starting tomorrow, says Saf. Oh, well, there we go. Now the question is, what is the theme Roku is working at? Yeah, what are you working on right now, Roku? And while you type that out for us in the chat, I'm going to click on the next thing. Is this another one from Chabal? All right, let's see what else we have in the queue here. I'm gonna scroll back up to you if there is time, Chabal, since we've already had a couple. This next one is Captain JT. All right, let's do this. This is called Ow, Ache. That's awesome. I can relate. What up, Drum Ties? Welcome in. Happy Friday. The Gazelle lives. Yo, welcome in. Z made this one. Happy Friday to you. That bell. What was that, like 220 or something? All right, first comment out the gates. The thing that Roku just tossed in the chat is the very first thing that I would touch on here. Anytime you really want your sub bass to hit, you've got to remove what you don't need. You got to reallocate that power, and you don't want things triggering limiters and compressors that are going to affect the entirety of your sound when you're not expecting them to. That said, dude, some really classic grimy UK stuff. I like it. I dig the intro. The bass is amazing. The wubs are awesome. I want a bit more from the drums. Having had the synths come in, they feel a little bit pushed back. Saturation or multiband and saturation. I would go old school on this one if it were me. I would do it as like as a shared process and just see what it sounds like with a little bit of saturation love. Maybe if it's even just like some overdrive. You don't have to be adding grit. Just some more presence, I think. Really make it pop. That bell, dude. I want that highlighted somehow, and I feel like it should be offset in the timing. Just hang it just slightly later, so the hit really hits and it stands, and the bell is on top of it. And I think saturate that bell. Ding. Great moment there. Yeah. Chuddy Real, welcome in. Happy Friday. Drums are obscure because of the massive sub. If you fix that, his drums will shine. Perhaps. I still feel like I really want just a tiny bit. Yep, first the bass. Always first the bass. It makes everything else feel better. That was a good one, man. All right, The Real Madman is up next. Into the chaos. Hey, we got Roku today. Look at that. He's up next. Ooh, and Liquid Phase. Nice. Oh, we're gonna close the gates. No more entries. No more entries. No more entries. Get it. All right. That's good stuff. I think I liked every single place that you took us. That fill at 41 seconds, it really kind of set the benchmark for the entire thing. And things go one of two ways when you start something great with a fill like that, right? Either the rest lives up to it, or that was the height of the entire everything, and it lived up to it. It was great. I'm just like seeing myself like walking around like as a zombie in the mornings, going through my shit, like listening to this spot a minute and a half into this. This is just awesome. I love the kind of liquid theremin effect that you've got there. I'm really liking the roundness of the sine resonance and the bubbly nature of the liquid. It's good. Quite the buildup, and just playing with pitch going up and down. I feel like it used up at least half a minute. Just going the distance with some really basic modulation choices, and it really, really works. It builds just the right kind of tension and interest, and none of it is like distracting or pulling our attention away from like the real heroes of the song. So really, really good stuff, and really good choices too. And really, I like the squelchiness. It's just 310. It's a really good spot. Really good spot. It probably is from the stream. I don't think that Twitch, I think that the Twitch uses some kind of limiting, which is interesting. I don't have a limiter on. I had the volume down just slightly. And yet people are always saying that stuff sounds louder through the stream than it does when they send it in. So I think that between Streamlabs and Twitch, they have more built in than they ever let on to. I digress, though. This is a zombie-related track. The Real Madman says, I believe that. I believe that. Seriously, though, the squelchiness, really good. I do like the fact that your layering of sounds, they're very, very cooperative. Like your crossover points are pretty darn spot on, right? Your low end guttural bass would be way too clunky to move around and articulate clearly. That top layer really is super nimble, and quite tasty. Very, very ear grabbing. It really fills that gap nicely. Yeah, probably. All right, on to the next. We've got Roku. Second pass of the collab with Scruffy. No mixing yet, of course. Pure writing and sound design. It is going to end up on the EP, though. Excellent. Let's do this. Scruffy Rico and Roku have been collabing for a bit now, and they're making some really awesome stuff, of course, as one would expect. We have closed the gates for the feedback queue. Everyone who's in should be getting reviewed. I know. Sorry about that look at the draw there, Michael. Wow. Listen to that peak. And look at this peak. The hell is coming?
5 suns with a length of 5 long winters. Again I hear rolling from their mountain springs with a soft innocence. Do I behold these steep and lofty cliffs that on a wild secluded sea press thoughts of more deep seclusion and connect the landscape and quiet of the sky? The day has come. Five suns with a length of 5 long winters. Again I hear the day has come.
Dude, Roku, thank you. Man, seriously. Man, this is a big part of why I take these breaks on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with you guys. Kidding me? Get to listen to this kind of stuff? Oh, all right. Roku, I can't wait until you guys have this stuff all mixed down, and I just can't wait. It's going to be freaking lovely. It's always a work of art. There's really nothing that any of us can say or do here to make it better. We just kind of have to wait. We just have to be patient and see what you and Rico churn out. That's really all there is to it. Thank you for blessing our ear holes. Liquid Phase, Feedback Friday. He's saying this is definitely missing some kind of glue, a lead element which drives through, but this was made in a single session when I was feeling inspired after a trip to the Mojave, and includes some of my new analog synth. This is less of a single and more of a DJ mix intro, except it's original production. Sweet. needle drop towards the outro here. Ooh, chord minute log, all right. I know, I am a bastard. Take it up with my mom, homie. Y'all remember Swordfish? That was a terrible hacker movie. All right, Michael, this is, it's fun to hear you play around with a new toy. I agree about the missing element, probably a lead, something to glue it together. But otherwise, I feel like you've got some cool ideas floating around in here. It's just really nice to hear you again. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've gotten to hear something that you're working on. Yeah, quit picking on us, Roku. Just because you came from a stable, good home without any needle drops. Again, I digress. Yeah, no, it's just good to hear your stuff again, man. I think everyone is picking up on the hacker vibe here. It's definitely got the cyber edge. Queen of the hackers. Yeah, that's why I do music too, man. Oh, and all of the needle jokes begin. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, dude, seriously, I really don't have much to tear into on this one. When you do get a top line added to this, and you get it to the next step, bring it back so we hear where it goes. Juicy Butt Muffin, which is potentially the best new name added to the chat today. Potentially. Here we go. Oops. All right. Wasting Away with Your Love is what this one is called. Remember, Q has been closed if you're looking for feedback and you are submitting it below this message from me saying gates are closing. Expect feedback from people outside of the stream because we do wrap up here in just a bit. So.
Wasting away with your love. One day I'll be enough. Taking your time with your love. These things take time, just trust.
right. Every time I think about you, I just feel alive. When the night comes, baby, do you feel fine? Or are you wishing I was there by your bedside? I'ma be the man you need when you ain't feel right. Baby, open up your heart when the time right. And then it's you and me together for a lifetime. We can be just like the movies up on Lifetime. As long as you and me together, yeah, we'll be fine. To me, you're perfect, baby, I don't wanna feel like this ain't working, then we arguing like all night. Ain't no need, cause we've been through it all and then some. You and me together, baby, that's the best time. One day you'll be enough. Taking your time with your love. These things take time, just trust. Wasting away your love. One day you'll be enough. Taking your time with your love. These things take time, just trust.
Yeah, this is good. I'm really digging the clarity in this one, and the emotion. Like, there's obviously a story being told here, and I like that the singer is fully engaged and that the music is supporting it. There are some highs in the far edges of this mix that are a bit distracting at times. I would consider bringing those elements in a little bit, not quite all the way out, bring them in just a little bit so they're not sitting in a position that is going to draw too much attention to it unnecessarily. And then the next thing would just be to wrangle in those highs just a little bit with either some EQ or some like some responsive multiband compression or responsive EQ or something. Just because they get a little bright and sparkly out there, and then it's pulling our ears all the way over here, and the vocals are here. So whoosh, just try and get them all into the same kind of view space, stereoscopically, of course. Nice little moment there at 150. There's really not a lot to pick apart here in the mix. The arrangement's really solid. Your vocals are great. You got a bunch of good stuff going on here. Yeah, backup ad-libs are good. Everything's sounded really nice. Liam Adams' music is up next. This one is called One Love. Let's do this.
You are what I waited for, oh. You make me touch the sky when I'm down. Cause when I'm with you, I'm fine. When you go, I'm sad. I like my life with you, oh. Cause you are my one love, one love. And I'm not saying lies, you're the one in my heart, my heart. You make me feel alive, I feel crazy when you make me smile, smile. Feel like I can't fly, fly. One love. And I'm not saying lies, I feel crazy. Crazy. I feel crazy.
Liam, this is great. This is really great. A lot of vocal stuff today. And I getting these messages from a friend, Maddie. No, we have not won any more awards this week. It has been more than 1 week since we have won any awards. Really good mix, really good production quality, really timely vibe. Now I just want to hear more of you. This is your first time bringing stuff in. I'm not sure what you are bringing to this as a producer versus an artist, and like what part of the music you're making. So with all of that said, if there was something that you could add to this that would make it stand out from the rest of the stuff in this genre, then there's a reason to come back and listen to it more than one time, or remember the name of it so you could like seek it out outside of the playlist that you discovered it in or whatever. So I think you've kind of reached that point in the production process at this point. Like you've obviously leveled up enough times. You're making stuff that's really thoughtful and well produced. There's really not a lot to pick apart. There are subtle little nuancy or artsy decision type making stuff, but yeah, really, this is more now at this point, what can you impart upon this that would take people by surprise or impress them in a way that they're not finding with other tracks in this realm of music? That's it. And it's a really good, solid vibe. It's radio quality, and it would definitely get picked up if you shopped it around. To make you compare, just so you can play it, 45 seconds. Oh. Yeah, you can. At the end, we'll listen to a few seconds of one. Yeah, exactly. And Roku, I think, is just gonna bolster what I'm saying here. He's saying, this is good, now go for great. You know, sometimes these things can feel so intangible, unquantifiable, so subjective, so put whatever words you want to it. It's an elusive thing. The thing that makes it less elusive is developing some signature maneuvers. You don't have to have a signature style per se. You don't have to have a signature instrument anymore, right? But maybe having some signature maneuvers. So even if you were to be producing something of the same production quality and value in a different genre, people would still say, "Oh, now that sounded like a Liam thing." You know what I mean? So just kind of listen through this. And I think one of the best ways that you can start to step into a space like that with your own work is try to find some distance from what you've been doing, right? Don't listen to this in your room. Listen to this out on a totally different pair of headphones while you're walking, like in the woods, next to a creek. Drive to a different town, like drive 20 minutes in a direction that you don't normally go in and just walk around in a park for a while that you've never been in. Look at people that you don't know while you're listening to it, right? Like just get your mind in a different place and start listening to it like a fan, which can be hard. That can be a hard thing. But I think that that's kind of the point that you're at right now, is what are the things I can do to get there? So, all right, next up is Chuddy. So it's called Colors Flip.
You see here, kid? You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before.
Well, then start the trek on foot, my friend. Or take the bus. Yeah, the bus is great for listening. Ooh, I like this.
gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take it
thoughts on this in just 1 second. Quick response to Roku. He's saying 17. Sheesh, you don't want to hear my stuff when I was 17. I'm 21 years into the music thing. What the fuck is up with these kids these days, OhmLab? I'll tell you what the fuck is up with them, man. We're in the middle of a freaking pandemic. It's not just that they're living in the internet age where they can look up the answers to any question they have or get their hands on stuff really cheap to make, or less than cheap, to make awesome sounds with and awesome tunes with. But they also have these amazing sample and preset marketplaces that some brilliant minds helped make easy. And then you can't dismiss the fact that the pandemic, man, like education has taken a freaking nosedive for kids. It sucks. I am so glad to see people burrowing into something passionate like music. I am absolutely astounded. Absolutely blown away by what people bring, and they're like, oh, I'm 13, oh, I'm 17, oh, I'm 20 and I just started Tuesday. And it's like, man. Z made this one, says 15. There you go. Right? Yeah, getting good in months, right? It's because they're starting from a place of comprehension and insight. They have people assisting them from all corners of the globe. It's a wonderful thing. If only the grown-ups in the room could freaking take a hint, right? All right, Chuddy. Nice intro, homie. 15 seconds in, I'm thinking, yeah, this is already a bop. The kick is solid. I think it's maybe just a little bit round. If it hit just a little bit more solid, I think it would feel just great. I think the vocals can come up a bit, unless you're going to shop this around to MCs. Minute 14, really good sample choice. I like the message there. It syncs up with the music and the vibe. Is it cleared? I do believe it should come up in volume though, even if you are shopping this to MCs, because it'd be a nice little breakdown spot. I love the creeping vibe at 136. At 147 with this transition, I'd love to hear you create a little bit more saturation or separation in there, and maybe even add another impact layer like breaking glass. Big Papa gonna chime in and break out of lurk mode for just a second and defend yourself. Yeah, seriously. Now this right here, I only had a tape machine and a 707 and some guitar pedals stolen from my dad. No internet, no music friends. I'm jealous. Yeah, but look at where you are, Roku. So, I mean, I feel the same way. But hey, what are you going to do? You just keep doing your thing. All right, next one up is dub. We got a boogie, folks. We got a boogie. I got sessions. This one's called Sapphire. Bonjour, dub. Word.
I'm suffocating.
Oh.
There's no release. My body's saying what my eyes won't see. I the pressure burning up in me. I need adventure. What's a door without a key? Give me my favorite things.
Yeah.
Remind me how to live again, again, again.
A little background vocal sliding in there. Come on. All right, dude. Really glad we slipped this one in there, or we got this one in before we had to sign off. This is really good. The bass, dude. Come on. At 23 seconds, I'm thinking, man, you need to accent that bass. It should come up to be right under the vocals. And then I go on to think, oh, great vocals. And then it's just like my brain melted because my face melted. And I never got back to erase that line about maybe you should accent that bass at 23 seconds. Really good stuff. I like the dynamic range. You pleased Roku. You pleased Roku. And if you're delivering Reese, then that's what you want to do in this room. I think everyone loves this. I see rainbows, I see smiles, a bunch of yeses, some exclamation points, and some people stumbling to try to pick their faces back up off the floor. So I think you've done your work here. I think you need to master this thing. At Reese is really grimy, man. And those background vocals, man, it's good stuff. No, I think that the vocals sound fine. I don't think they're rushed. I think it's very, very much in lockstep with the beat. I think it's good. I think you might be nearing. Hey, Shabal, thank you so much for hanging, dude, and for bringing such heat. We'll circle back and get to more of your stuff next time, dude. Always a freaking pleasure. You have a good one. And stay inspired. Yeah, Roku is saying exactly what I was just about to say. You're reaching the point now where you're very close to your stuff. I'm going to give you very much similar advice to what I was just saying to Liam, and that is get out and listen to your stuff as though you were a fan in a different setting, using different headphones. Just get out of the bubble that you're in right now and go listen to it, and give yourself a couple of days before you do that. You know what else really helps? Give it to a friend and ask them to hit play on it unexpectedly at some point and surprise you. Like when you're in the middle of cooking some freaking dinner or playing a video game or driving somewhere. That kind of stuff can really help. Hearing stuff out of context, it'll help you frame this a little bit more realistically for yourself, because this is fire. This is good stuff. This is really good stuff. Yeah, those guys are good with mastering. I'm referring everything out right now. I would say Tom would do a really good job right now with this. Masters by Iggy in the chat. Iggy on Discord, if you mention him and on this track right here. In fact, we can just do this right now. There we go. No, thank you. Yeah. All these guys are really top shelf options. All right, last one for the day. Z707 and everyone else who has dropped tracks after we closed the gates. Thank you so much for coming in and still dropping tracks. Let's try and get ears on these tracks for these folks, people. Z707 and away we go. Man, that sub, yeah. The needle drop is just because it's kind of loopy right now, so I'm just going to stop this and say this is the part where you start to add more interest. Filter sweeps, risers, transition effects, reversals, resequencing things, resampling things. You can even do little stutters or stops with something like this. Pitch bends. There's so many tiny little types of embellishments that you can explore. You can also put a little top line in this and actually lead this somewhere. So right now, this is kind of in a mode of like stasis. You've got this theme or like this concept that you've developed. Now, tell some kind of a story with it and don't let it be just the bed for something else. Does that make sense? So get something in there that can stand up straight and move around and grab the attention of the people listening and have it follow them around. And then try and sprinkle in a little bit of interest, right? Some of it can be ear candy stuff and some of it can be more functional, right? If there is a little riser next to a transition and there's like a little snare hit at the top or something like that, maybe that thing gets a really big reverb spray or something, right? And then that wiggles just a little bit as it dissipates or something. So now it's just time to kind of go through and explore ideas, right? Save often, bounce out iterations, listen to them and compare them and ask yourself, what are these different things making me feel, basically? Roku is also mentioning the sub. Yeah, you don't need a ton of sub, and if you're in a room just starting to produce where you can't monitor your subs, just put some sort of meter on it so you can actually see the levels of the different frequencies in your mix. Okay, so when something is playing and you're seeing a big spike down here at like 30 hertz or something like that, that's way too big of a peak. Your other stuff can be peaking up here and your sub should be down here. It should be the supportive thing. If your sub gets up here, then it's going to wreck everything else in your mix. It just takes up all the energy and it's a drunken bastard at the party. Yeah, and don't limit your track. Don't limit your track until it sounds good. Keep everything, just keep compressors off unless you actually need them to tap down a peak for you, and get everything sounding extra saucy and delicious before you start resorting to exploding your sound in any way. Okay, all that said, you guys really brought it today. Very much impressed. Very, very much impressed today. You guys are freaking great. Thank you so much for all of the follows. Yakucho, thank you. Welcome in. Yellington, Liam, Quarry, Dub3, Elias. Hey, it's Sosa. Z made this one. Tremties, thank you for the resub. 6 months running. Chuddy Real, thank you. Liam and Adam Music. Zuma Walafa, if I said that right. Juicy Butt Muffin Spectrum. Darth Vader, who am I? Huckaba J-O. HBK J-O. Huckaba? Huckaba? Hubka? I can't do acronyms. I shouldn't. Oxford launch padding. Paul, thank you so much. 18 months in a row, Paul. Boom, thank you so much. Martin, Mark Camp, and Totally Park, thank you. If I missed anyone, I appreciate you as well. We are going to see who's playing right now and what they are up to. Oh my gosh, you guys, the Dapper Rapper is on, and I'm kind of thinking that we are going to go do this right now. If you have not been in the room with the Dapper Rapper, you're missing out. This guy is best late at night. I have no idea what he's doing right now. I'm hoping that he's going to spit something clever for you, though. I appreciate you all. Stay inspired. Make something great over the weekend. Don't forget to grab the new sound pack that was just added. If you are a subscriber, you get a free sound pack every single month at the Discord. It is Found Sounds for Beatmakers this time around. Go make something groovy, and we will see you again on Monday when we get together to make our brains bigger and learn more about music production and sound design and stuff. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have good days.
I know your dapper doing his thing. Yo, welcome to the place where I go rap and do my thing. I like to rap right from my brain, and all my people say insane shit. Yeah, right in the chat. Welcome to the stream while I'm flowing. Fuck with the dap. Yeah. Yo, thank you for the love and for your raid. I like to go when rhyming, they see me just do my thing. What's up, dude? There he is. How's it going? No, I didn't pay it. There was a house, but it was tore down right before I bought it. Okay, that's awesome.